1. Raven's Progressive Matrices test is primarily designed to measure A. Verbal comprehension, ... B. Abstract reasoning. C. Short-term memory. D. Processing speed. 2. Which of the following best describes the type of reasoning assessed in Raven's progressive matrices? A. Inductive reasoning. B. Deductive reasoning. C. Semantic reasoning. D. Procedural reasoning. 3. Raven's progressive matrices test is considered a nonverbal assessment because A. It relies on linguistic analysis. B. It requires minimal language skills. C. It measures vocabulary strength. D. It uses word-based analogies. 4. The test consists of visual patterns with a missing piece. The examinee must A. Translate the figures into words. B. Choose the correct piece to complete the pattern. C. Rearrange the figures into new sequences. D. Write an explanation for each figure. 5. Raven's progressive matrices are most often used to measure A. Crystallized intelligence. B. Fluid intelligence. C. Emotional intelligence. D. Practical intelligence. 6. Which group is Raven's progressive matrices especially useful for? A. People with high linguistic ability. B. Non-native speakers of the test language. C. Individuals trained in symbolic logic. D. Those specializing in literature. 7. Which of the following is not a common use of Raven's progressive matrices? A. Employment selection. B. Educational assessment. C. Intelligence research. D. Measuring long-term memory capacity. 8. Raven's progressive matrices primarily assess problem-solving through A. Word association. E. Pattern recognition. C. Mathematical computation. D. Auditory sequencing. 9. The advanced form of Raven's progressive matrices, APM, is designed for A. Children ages 5 to 9. B. Adults of higher ability levels. C. Elderly individuals with memory decline. D. People with speech impairments. 10. The standard progressive matrices, SPM, are generally intended for adults in professional environments. B. School-aged children and general populations. C. Individuals with advanced degrees. D. Patients in medical treatment. 11. Which of the following best describes the test format? A. Multiple-choice numerical problems. B. Visual puzzles with missing parts. C. Sentence completion tasks. D. Logical syllogisms in text form. 12. One reason Raven's progressive matrices is considered culture fair is because A. It eliminates all cultural influence. B. It minimizes reliance on language, ... C. It translates patterns into many languages. It uses culturally familiar objects. 13. Which component of intelligence is most directly measured by Raven's progressive matrices? A. Knowledge-based reasoning. B. Nonverbal abstract reasoning. C. Emotional awareness. D. Motor coordination. 14. The colored progressive matrices, CPM, were developed primarily for A. Elderly populations. B. Younger children and special populations. C. College students. D. Corporate executives. 15. Raven's progressive matrices test typically involves A. Selecting answers from word lists. B. Identifying missing pieces in geometric designs. C. Solving algebraic equations. D. Writing essay responses. 16. Which of the following factors can influence performance on Raven's progressive matrices? A. Prior exposure to similar tests. B. Advanced vocabulary knowledge. C. Cultural familiarity with idioms. D. Listening comprehension skills. 17. One limitation of Raven's progressive matrices is: A. It measures only crystallized knowledge. B. It does not account for verbal reasoning abilities. C. It overemphasizes memory recall. D. It requires extensive mathematical training. 18. The test is structured so that items become: A. Easier as the test progresses. B. Random in difficulty. C. Progressively more difficult. D. Based on verbal analogies. 19. Which of the following is a correct characteristic of Raven's progressive matrices? A. Language-free assessment. B. Heavy reliance on prior schooling. C. Measures artistic creativity. D. Involves reading comprehension. 20. The purpose of the progressive structure in Raven's matrices is to: A. Provide constant item difficulty. B. Gradually challenge higher reasoning. C. Test only memory retention. D. Reduce test-taking anxiety. 21. Which of the following best reflects the response method in Raven's progressive matrices? A. Multiple choice selection. B. Short essay answers. C. Open-ended problem solving. D. True-false recognition. 22. In research, Raven's progressive matrices are often used as a measure of: A. General intelligence, G factor. B. Specific memory recall. C. Personality traits. D. Verbal aptitude. 23. Which is the correct sequence of difficulty levels in Raven's test versions? A. CPM, SPM, APM. B. APM, CPM, SPM. C. SPM, APM, comma. D. CPM, APM, SPM. 24. Which statement about the colored progressive matrices, CPM, is correct? They contain fewer items than the APM. B. They are designed for professionals only. C. They include complex abstract patterns. They are written in multiple languages. 25. Raven's progressive matrices are often chosen in cross-cultural studies because: A. They measure memory of historical facts. B. They minimize language and cultural bias. C. They depend heavily on reading skills. D. They assess knowledge of world cultures. 26. When interpreting results from Raven's progressive matrices, higher scores indicate: A. Better short-term auditory recall. B. Stronger abstract reasoning ability. C. Superior verbal communication. D. Improved motor skills. 27. The test items in Raven's progressive matrices are usually presented as: A. Text-based analogies. B. Visual grids with a missing element. C. Spoken riddles. D. Written story problems. 28. Which of the following makes Raven's progressive matrices distinct from vocabulary-based IQ tests? A. It uses cultural references. B. It requires abstract pattern recognition. C. It emphasizes word definitions. D. It measures reading comprehension. 29. The test has been widely adopted because it provides: A. A reliable measure of fluid intelligence. B. An estimate of verbal memory. C. A measure of social skills. D. A prediction of creative writing ability. 30. One reason Raven's progressive matrices is used in employment testing is A. It assesses general problem solving without language bias. B. It predicts leadership personality traits. C. It measures knowledge of technical jargon. D. It evaluates company policy familiarity. 31. The items in Raven's progressive matrices typically require examinees to apply A. Vocabulary recall. E. Visual spatial reasoning. C. Memorized formulas. D. Story analysis. 32. Which of the following test versions is best suited for adults with above-average ability? A. Colored progressive matrices. B. Advanced progressive matrices. C. Standard progressive matrices. D. Simplified progressive matrices. 33. In terms of design, the missing piece in each Raven's matrix must be identified by A. Guessing randomly. B. Logical analysis of the pattern. C. Recalling memorized facts. D. Translating sentences. 34. Which of the following is a primary advantage of Raven's progressive matrices? It eliminates the need for test administrators. B. It allows assessment across diverse populations. C. It focuses only on verbal intelligence. D. It is based on culturally specific knowledge. 35. Which form of intelligence, according to Cattell's theory, is best aligned with Raven's progressive matrices? A. Crystallized intelligence. B. Fluid intelligence. C. Emotional intelligence. D. Social intelligence.